What's with the ground? Why can't I breathe? Wait, what? Oh, we're still on Earth. Never mind. I thought we were on a moon base or something. Okay, I'm gonna cut my hair again because it's getting so long. Like it's so weird because if I put like my hair like this, and then if I close my right eye, it looks like this, and there's just a massive line through it. Yet if I close the other eye, then I can see perfectly fine. I mean, I know it's basic logic, but why is my camera so blurred out? But anyway, gotta go cut my hair. Oh my god, I can't. Oh my god, phone, come on, just start seeing things. Oh my god, phone, why can't you see it? Okay guys, I can't seem to get it to entirely focus, but I can't imagine why. It's kind of, should be easy, but you can kind of, I freed up 3 hours of space on my camera. That has literally never happened before, but anyway, time for my review of Doctor Who, the MOONBASE. There you go. Lighting in here is a bit weird. Okay, anyway, let's get on with it. So here we have the second Doctor, and here it looks like Ben and Polly. At first glance, they look like aliens. And here I guess we have the Monster of the Month, story number 33. And yeah, this will feature 2 animated episodes, because part 1 and 3 are currently missing from the BBC archives. There's a nice little disc. Open it up. And this just doesn't look like it's in the best shape, but something tells me that'll be just fine. Boop. Yeah, just push it, there we go. You gotta really get the momentum going. Here, put that in there, and poof. Let's straighten this up now. Okay, now someone, not saying who, told me that I should watch this without subtitles. For some reason, they challenged me to watch it without subtitles, so I'm gonna see what that has in store for us. Episode 1, oh, you can definitely tell that episode 1 and 3 are animated here. Let's go. So we start off where we last left off, with the TARDIS being out of control. I'm already struggling. I can't tell what they're saying. I think the Doctor just said I'm trying to, but I'm not quite sure. I guess they finally got Jamie to start screaming, because last time I said that I thought that I heard him saying, like, I'm not screaming, but I guess he's screaming now. As much as it makes no sense, I like this effect where it zooms into the scanner and then shows the TARDIS materializing there. Despite the fact that it makes no sense, because the scanner would not show the TARDIS itself materializing. Where we last left off, the Doctor said that he was going to fly the TARDIS perfectly to Mars, and of course they end up crash landing on the moon. And Polly says, "You've done it, it's Mars!" Okay, the Mars is red, as far as I'm aware. I don't know, maybe, please don't leave me essays in the comments saying, oh my god, it's totally orange, or it's totally green, or it's totally white, or science has changed. I don't know, it's just, as far as I'm aware, when this episode came out, it's red, okay? We're gonna say it's red. Please don't write me essays in the comments saying why it's a different color. And we're gonna say that the moon is also gray. So why would you think it was Mars? Unless if the scanner is in black and white, which I'm pretty sure that it is, as the Doctor said in the Keys of Marinus that he had color TV, implying that they were currently using black and white, and he currently had no reason to suddenly switch to color. So I guess that would make sense, but Polly, there's like a gazillion planets out there that would all have that same surface, so why are you so certain it's Mars? And then Ben's all like, I have seen pictures of the moon surface and that's what this looks like. Again, how are you sure that's not just some other solid planet, like Mars or Mercury? And Jamie's saying all cute stuff like, that can't be the moon's all way up in the sky, or maybe we'll meet the man in the moon. The thing that I don't get is for the very first time, I believe, the Doctor says, let's move on while we can, and then immediately just tries to dematerialize the TARDIS again. I've never quite gotten, well, I mean, like, later on we learned, but, like, for now, it just appears that the Doctor is just taking off and landing, hoping to find Gallifrey at some point. So why doesn't he just do that? Why does he always have to exit the TARDIS? Especially in the Doctor Who story, The Chase, because they were being chased by Daleks. They should have just been dematerialized, rematerialized, dematerialized, rematerialized, and then keep on going as fast as they could. But no, it just seems like a rule that every time that they land, they have to exit the TARDIS and explore. This is the first time that the Doctor has just said, let's just move on. But of course, Polly and Ben are all like, no, we're gonna explore the moon. You can tell that Ben hasn't been taking astrology lessons because when he's teasing the doctor and saying like, oh, well, you weren't that far off, only about 200 million miles, despite the fact that to my phone, the moon is no more than 78 million miles from Mars. But, you know, maybe it was back in that time they thought it was that many million miles, and they probably didn't have this cool invention, grapefruit in a cup. Why has no one thought of it? Of course, you have to be very careful when you open it, because then, like, maybe you'll be lucky and there won't be that much juice, but then there's just less juice to drink, but then maybe there's a lot of juice, but then it'll spill as soon as you open it up. Check it out. Grapefruit in a cup.
They put on some spacesuits that the doctor just happens to have in a chest. I mean, I guess what space traveler wouldn't have spacesuits ready? But then they go out for only half an hour, according to the doctor. Why he wants to leave so quickly, I have no idea. Maybe he's offended. But then they jump and this sound effect plays. Why that sound effect? What, is it just the laws of physics that's the sound that happens when you jump on the moon?
So Jamie gets separated from them and goes to explore this moon base that they found, roll credits, and then, so he bonked his head and now he's in the medical bay, and then Polly and Ben and the doctor just waltz in, and I just can't believe how chill they are. They're just like, well, who are you guys? And it's like, oh, we just came in a spacecraft of our own. And they're like, oh, okay, that's cool, I just want to have a word with you. But it's just, like, they came out of nowhere. Like I'm just surprised with how calm they are. And then, and then there's also this disease going around that appears to have people infected by it at random, and it causes, like, their veins to be super visible, I think. And they just kind of pass out, I guess. So as it turns out, by the year 2070, which is where they land, they've learned how to control the weather, which sounds kind of possible to me. I mean, like, it sounds like something that Back to the Future would have assumed that would happen by 2015. But by now, we're well past over 100. Well, actually, not well past. We're over 100 years into the future after this episode was broadcasted, and apparently that's what gave the TARDIS a bumpy landing. Why can't it just be because the Doctor tried to fly it and the TARDIS was like, no? So everyone's kind of shocked at how little the Doctor and Ben seem to know, and they're just like, how do you not know what year it is? How do you know that we've learned how to control the gravity and weather? Like, where have you been on the moon? Okay, I get it. That wasn't funny.
So rather than us just having to learn who the characters are by ourselves, like most stories, this just bothers to pretty much just spell out who everyone is and what they do. But don't ask me to memorize them, and I have no idea who they are as soon as they're finished. But it's the 60s, so I can pretty much tell you it's almost a certainty that this black guy over here is gonna die at some point. You can tell, though, that this animation's on loop. See, it's just kind of skipping back. Oh, actually, skipped forward there. I'm not really sure anymore.
This is so weird. When they're talking to Earth, they're just like, we got 3 new men and a woman in the past. Like, they didn't even say and a woman. They're just like 3 new men, just completely ignoring Polly. In the past 2 hours? I can't remember, but it hasn't been that long. And it's like, including the Doctor. I think it would make more sense if they said a doctor. And actually, for a moment, I was thinking, like, maybe they did say a doctor, I don't really know. And then they played back the recording. As if, like, imagine if I rewinded it to see if it was what they said, because I don't have subtitles here. And then they play back the recording anyway. It's as if they knew I wasn't going to rewind it. So weird. So as it turns out, someone or something is listening to everything that they say every time that they try to contact Earth. Then there's a few jokes flying around, and the Doctor's trying to explain what's looking after Jamie, and then Polly's like, oh, so it's like a mechanical doctor. And he's like, yeah, it could have some striped trousers, because he wears striped trousers. And then, and Jamie's all like, oh, don't let the phantom forget me. It's just like something from his culture, I guess, that's supposed to get you right before he dies. And when Ben asks if there's anything you can do to help, they're just like, yeah, you can put away a couple of these coffee cups. That's normally the job that they give Polly. So anyway, so the black guy goes into a storage room and creepily, like, he tries to, like, I just spat. He tries to, like, lean on, like, a shelf, and then he leans on the monster of the month, and then dies. I freaking called it. While the quality of this animation is good, check out the quality of this nice fruit salad. Nicely made. Anyway, so Polly's looking after Jamie, and then the monster of the month passes by, and then she's not even being attacked. All that she's seeing is the monster of the month going out the door, and she's screaming like it's her death. So someone's body has disappeared, and the guy's just like, "You're all gonna leave if you don't find the body soon." And they all go out, and then it's just the doctor, Polly, and Jamie in the room, and then the doctor leaves, and then Polly leaves, and then the monster of the week comes in. Jamie thinks it to be the Phantom Piper, and no, that's the cliffhanger for part 1.
Oh, it's nice how at the very end of the credits here, they put all the animators. My goodness, there have been a lot of people. Whoa, how many people have worked on this? Thanks to. What did those guys do? Okay, that's it. Oh, no, these guys as well. And these guys. Anyone else? This company. So the Phantom Piper was gonna take Jamie, and then he decides, nah, screw him. Here, I'll take this guy instead. This guy seems expendable. He's not a main character. So Polly screams again, despite the fact that all that she saw this time was the door closing, so that literally could have been anything. These guys?
I don't think so. But anyway, so it's a common theme in Doctor Who. When something bad happens, the Doctor shows up. But to many people's point of view inside the story, it just seems when the Doctor shows up, something bad happens. So it's just like, you did this. But I really like how they're just being so chill. Like, either they're just bad at acting, or they're just super chill about everything. It is 2070. So... So just like, you can get off the moon now. And then Ben's like, yeah, I'm all for it. And the Doctor gives a nice little speech because, you know, like back in the beginning of Doctor Who, every story was just like, let's get back to the TARDIS as fast as we can. Here, the Doctor's evolved into a person, that, well, Time Lord, that wants to actually help people. That first started showing in Planet of Giants. And he gives a nice little speech. He's just like, there are some corners in the universe that have bred the most terrible things. Things that act against everything that we believe in. They must be fought. I don't know why I made a silly face there. But anyway, so they're just like, alright, you got 24 hours. Here's a science lab that we conveniently have right next to the patients. Get to work.
The Doctor's just going around checking people's personal space. I mean, I know it has something to do with the science thing that he's trying to do to figure out what the disease is, but, like, he's just going around in people's personal space. Quoi? Cet homme parle français maintenant? Whoa. Whoa, what? Polly saw something and then she didn't scream? Oh, maybe she should have.
So the Phantom Piper, as I'm gonna call her, decides to ditch Jamie once again and take another character that's not a main one, and then carries it away. And then at that point, when the others find out that another body's missing, they're just like, okay, that's it. You can all get off the moon now. I don't care about the 24 hours. And then the Doctor... It was when the guys came in though, the Doctor was just like, quick, Polly, look busy. But by the time they came in, the Doctor wasn't even at his table yet. So good job looking busy, because like he was saying to Polly, like, look busy as they were coming in. So they 100% heard him say that. Anyway, I guess we're just supposed to ignore that. And then the Doctor's just like, oh my god, I found something. Everyone leave, I need to concentrate. And Polly's like, so you found something? And the Doctor's like, nah, I just said to make them leave. And Polly's like, oh, well, what can I do now?
Why not make some coffee to keep them all happy while I feed something?
Oh my goodness, Polly's gonna be stuck making coffee, isn't she? So 2 astronauts just go out to check on something and like out of the base, and then 2 of the Phantom Pipers come up and then just beat them to death with their massive fists, I guess, and then the Doctor's just like, I've got nothing. And then just like, yes, you can get off the moon now. And then Polly comes in and he's like, coffee. Be happy, everyone. There's coffee here. And then that's when the Doctor finally figures out that the disease seems to be spread through the sugar. Whenever anyone consumes or possibly even touches the sugar, they get the disease. When the Doctor realizes that only the people who drink the coffee with sugar in it gets the disease. And then they start wondering where the Phantom Pipers could possibly be. Okay, I guess these are the new designs of a Cyberman. Yes, indeed. In fact, the old ones kept on apparently falling apart during production, so they decided to change it, but... Hey, Oh, geez, that looks nothing like a Cyberman. Well, I guess it kind of does. I don't know. Which leads us to one of the more famous Patrick Troughton cliffhangers, which is when the Doctor's just like, "Did you search in here?"
Look at this dude, though. You can just tell that he's terrified. You can feel the fear in his face.
Like, imagine if someone just came up on that couch right here. So that's the cliffhanger for part 2, but why it decided to take the blanket off as soon as it saw him? I mean, like, why didn't it stay high? How did it even know that they were looking at him?
And for reasons unknown, the Cyberman then decides to take this time to look at its watch.
Huh? Sorry? No subtitles. So the Cybermen are now talking in this voice that I guess is somewhat understood, but not really, and that... yeah, so then, back animation to episode 3, by the way. And the Cybermen walk up to the Doctor and they're just like, "You want..." Well, it's more like, with "you are known to us." And that, how they knew that, I have no idea. Do they have some sort of regeneration detector? Then again, I do recall there's a second Dr. Cyberman story taking place in 2050, so I guess they'd recognize his face there, but they didn't really do wibbly wobbly timey wimey stuff here. And why no one questioned that? They're just like, "Wait, what? You know the Doctor? How?" But then again, everyone in the space is so chill, so I don't know. And to anyone who says, "Oh, I could easily understand the Cybermen in this story," okay, without looking at the script, tell me what they're saying now.
We are here to take over the rabbit troll, and use it to destroy the surface of the earth by Jake.
I mean, boss, that was an unedited audio clip. So the Cybermen are taking these diseased people and controlling them. Why they need diseased people, I don't know, because they tell Polly and Ben, like, "Stay here or you'll be converted just like them." So why are they waiting for them to be diseased? I don't know, maybe so that they feel less sane? They're such a pain in the butt. They send 2 people outside and they're like, "No, if you let them outside without helmets, they're gonna go insane in like 12 hours. And Cybermen's just like, "Well, we're gonna be done far before 12 hours, so don't worry about that." Anyway, Ben and Polly do some sciencey stuff and figure out how to make some sort of solution that can temporarily defeat the Cybermen. There's a scene where the Doctor's like sitting down and he's like whispering. And then he starts talking with his voice box, which is him talking to himself. But the animation puts it that when he's whispering, his mouth is closed, so it's like he's thinking it. It's like he's talking, and then thinks, and then talking, and then thinks. I am interested in what the real footage would look like if that is indeed what the Doctor's doing.
That's sexist.
So there's epic slow-mo chase scene of this guy on the moon, and then the Cybermen like slowly running out. I would have liked to see that in real footage. Anyway, and then there's this whole army of Cybermen just marching their way through, where they're just like spread out. And this guy doing a disco move right here.
Look at this guy doing his disco stance, just like, "Yeah, I got this."
So that's the cliffhanger for part 3 then. This is the last time, I promise. Look at this lemon pie.
Stop it with the coffee.
So the Cybermen try all kinds of things, like cutting the oxygen twice.
Oh, but seriously, no crap, you can't breathe, Polly. Just grab a gas mask like everyone else.
Changing the angles of how the space things crafts move. Mind controlling people.
Your brain is being altered by the Cybermen.
And even trying to shoot a laser beam at it.
Everybody take cover, get down home.
But each time everyone defeats it with science. Personally, I don't even see episode 4 why Ben and Jamie even was supposed to be there. The Doctor was the one saving everyone, Polly was the one acting like a wimp the whole time for some reason, and Jamie and Ben, they didn't really do anything. They did something, but I can't remember what it was. But anyway, they defeat the Cybermen by ejecting them into space. If you want to know the full details, then, watch the video. But one common misconception that I have a feeling that people would make is how the Cybermen seem to just, they switch off the gravity basically for the Cybermen, but what many people might find odd is that the Cybermen just float off into space, but the spaceships do too. And it'd be like, why did the spaceships just so easily take off? Well, you have to remember what the meaning of 0 and infinity means. There was no gravity. So it doesn't matter if the spaceship would weigh a lot more than the Cyberman itself, a lot more. If there was 0 gravity, they'd all weigh the same, being weightless.
I don't quite get this scene though. Right after the TARDIS dematerializes, they show the moon's surface and the moon base again, as if like the Cybermen are going to appear, as if there's some sort of cliffhanger or something for the next story or Cyberman story, but no, that just cuts back to the TARDIS.
But anyway, so they get back to the TARDIS and then turn on the time scanner, which apparently gives them a glimpse of where they're gonna land next. How that works, I have no idea, seeing as the TARDIS is just supposed to randomly land places, and why we've never seen it before, or in fact ever again, I have no idea either. But anyway, so that's the end of the MOONBASE.
I got confused here where they showed this final credit and the music kept going, but they have this little next week the Macro Terror preview.
So yeah, would I recommend it? Yes. In fact, I didn't expect it to be this good. Just because, like, I don't think that I've come across a Doctor Who episode before that has shown this much about how being a scientist can make you do amazing things. Because, like, the Cybermen had weaknesses and the humans had weaknesses and they were figuring it out, but pretty much every advantage that either of them made, they did through science. Like, unfortunately, I feel bad because, like, I almost want to say, like, if you want to convince someone that being a nerd and being a scientist can actually help you get through situations a lot, I would say show them this, but, you know, seeing as it was made in the 60s and it's black and white and 2 of the 4 episodes are animated, yeah, I don't know. But this was just amazing at showing just how much science can actually do. So yes, I would recommend this story. And if you're, like, having low self-esteem because you know a lot about science and getting good grades in science and math and everyone's teasing you, then watch this story. Because it might make you see just how much you can actually do. So, thank you all so much for watching this video. I really hope you enjoyed. If you did, please leave likes, so I know that you enjoyed. And if you didn't like, please leave dislikes, so that I know that you did enjoy. Leave a comment down below if you'd like to turn likes, feels awesome, and get some motivation and encouragement. If you didn't like, please leave a comment down below saying why you didn't like, so that I can improve next time, otherwise I won't be able to improve, and just guarantee you just as if it were like. And subscribe so that you know when my next video comes out. Thanks again so much for watching, and as always, I'll see you next time where I review story number 34, The Macro Terror. Bye-bye. Look at it. I'm sorry, just look at it.
And for reasons unknown, the Cyberman decides to look at its watch.